So Letitia James came out with a statement, obviously, after the Trump victory, the crushing victory, where almost half of New York or close to half of New York voted for Donald Trump, in staunch defiance of the governor and her attorney general, Letitia James. She's got to be shaking in her boots. Obviously, she should be shaking in her boots, considering the person that she falsely tried to persecute and put in jail is now about to have the most power of anybody in the entire world. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Governor, for convening us. I want to take a moment to thank everyone who ran for office, those who were victorious, and those who didn't get the results that they worked for. There is nothing more difficult than running for office, and our democracy is better off because of your efforts.
The nervousness, the shaking, the oh my God, I'm in trouble.
We also achieved an important step in our efforts to protect our right to choose in New York. And I want to thank Sasha Ajua for all of her efforts and Donna Lieberman of ACLU for all that they have done to get us to that point.
Okay.
Thank you to all of those who worked so hard to enshrine that right in our Constitution and protected generations to come.
Okay.
I also want to
She's talking about abortion, which, the Supreme Court ruled is up to the states where it should be. And New York has elected to keep it in order. Okay. That's fine. Nobody tried to take it away. They just wanted the people to vote on it and not a bunch of justices.
thank New Yorkers for showing up in record numbers to the polls to exercise your most basic and sacred democratic right. And lastly, I congratulate the President-elect Donald Trump. And if possible, we will work with his administration. But we will not compromise our values or our integrity or our principles. We did not expect this result.
How could you not expect this result? Every time you went after him, he went up in the polls.
But we are prepared to respond to this result. And my office has been preparing for several months because we've been here before. We faced this challenge before. And we use the rule of law to fight back.
You use the rule of law to suppress your political opponents on behalf of the Biden administration.
And we are prepared to fight back once again. Because as the Attorney General of this great state, it is my job to protect and defend the rights of New Yorkers and the rule of law.
Gotcha.
And I will not shrink from that responsibility.
You're going to have to. Like 5 people reluctantly clap.
You see, between 2019 and 2021, the Office of the Attorney General took nearly 100 legal actions against the previous Trump administration, including when he attempted to cap the state and local tax, and when he sought to eliminate funds and grants for law enforcement officers here in the state of New York.
Oh, because you love the cops.
We fought
Letitia.
to preserve DACA and protect the Affordable Care Act. We fought to prevent a question about citizenship from being on the census because we were concerned about the impact of funding, the lack of funding to the state of New York and how it would affect these programs. We beat the Muslim ban. We stopped the dismantling of the United States Postal Service.
All of this
We
is not true.
challenged anti-LGBTQ plus efforts. We safeguarded key environmental policies, and we protected access to reproductive care, and we protected the right to organize. We worked around the clock to defend these basic rights with our Democratic colleagues across this nation. So as you can see, we know their playbook. We know Project 2025 before it was even published.
Right.
And we have been working both in my office and with other Democratic AGs across this country to make sure that we would be ready to respond to any attempt to roll back our rights.
Yeah, right.
So here we are.
Yep, here we are.
We studied their platforms.
Here we are. The man that you falsely persecuted, the man that you manipulated judges to work against him, the man that you tried to put in federal prison for the rest of his life on a crime that you invented, is now the most powerful person in the world.
We've identified certain possibilities, fact patterns.
So that's basically most of her statement. Nothing of any value, of course, from Letitia James. She's just posturing herself in a position to where she feels that she is going to play the victim if, in fact, Donald Trump does decide to go after her. And we shall see. Many people are wanting him to. I don't know if he'll take the higher road, but I will tell you what's going to happen is the persecution of Donald Trump is going to stop from Letitia James. Here's Donald Trump's lawyer on the Benny Show with a statement for Letitia James.
Let me just say this to Big Tish James, the New York Attorney General. I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump in his second term, because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time. And we will put your fat ass in prison for conspiracy against rights. And I promise you that. So think long and hard before you want to violate President Trump's constitutional rights or any other American's constitutional rights. It's not going to happen again.
We've been warning people on the show, Mike. This is
so good. Good. And if she's been doing that to Donald Trump, how many innocent people in New York has she persecuted that are now in jail that should not be? That's a great question.